Hey guys, what's going on, dudes? It is David here. We are back with another video. Now, in this video, guys, we shall be discussing WWE again. I know I've been discussing a lot about WWE recently. My last video turned out to be a WWE video, but WWE just seems to be a hot topic for me right now. And when it comes to the situation that has happened, I've been putting off talking about a certain Bella. And I will get to that at a certain point. I definitely will get to that before WrestleMania comes. But today's video, we shall be talking about what is possibly going to be eventually one of the greatest WWE female wrestlers, women wrestlers, female superstars, I shouldn't say wrestlers, female superstars of all time. And that is the longest reigning SmackDown women's champion in history. That is the role model. That is Bayley. Now, what I want to discuss today is basically because in the coming weeks, Bayley is going to be returning soon to WWE. She was out with the leg injury since I think last August or last July. Sometime around that time is when she got injured, because I remember before she got injured, they were planning on doing something with her, but then she got injured. And we all remember what happened last year at WrestleMania when it came to what they did with Bayley. And I just want to say this. The longest reigning SmackDown Women's Champion in history, and you can't even put her in a good segment on Raw. Not on Raw, on WrestleMania. You have her interact with the Bellas. You have her interact with the Bellas and get humiliated by the Bellas. And the funny thing I look at this is that the fact that during the segment, Bayley did not get booed. If Bayley got booed, it was only because the crowd was booing the segment, and the fact that WWE put Bayley in a segment like that, considering what she just did for the WWE while they were in the Thunderdome. So what do I want to see when Bayley does come back? Well, I feel like it's going to be too soon to put Bayley in the title picture, so I don't really see that happening. Plus, they got the Elimination Chamber happening this month, where the winner of the Raw Women's Elimination Chamber will go on to face Becky Lynch, and meanwhile Ronda's going on to face Charlotte. So what does that mean for Bayley? I mean, if I gotta be honest, I'd postpone Bayley's return until the Monday after Raw, or the Friday after, the Monday after WrestleMania, or the Friday after WrestleMania. That way it could be much more of a better return, and that way she's not just like trying to force fed into the competition, into the title picture. But what I want from WWE when it comes to next year's WrestleMania, because next year's WrestleMania will be taking place in California. Next year's WrestleMania will be taking place in California, in SoFi Stadium. I want to see Bayley in a title match for either the Raw Women's Championship or the SmackDown Women's Championship. I don't care what it is. I want to see Bayley get treated with some respect. Because to be the longest reigning SmackDown Women's Champion throughout the Thunderdome, and she basically carried that SmackDown Women's division basically throughout the whole thing. And then she gets put in a segment where she gets humiliated by two shouldn't-be Hall of Famers saying ding dong goodbye, which is the opposite of obviously Bayley's TV show on WWE, Ding Dong Hello. And I just want to say this, I've watched this segment many times. It's really honestly cringe, because the fact that Bayley says ding dong good, I mean, the Bayley during that segment did mention John Cena, but that's a typical joke that everybody's going to mention whenever they're in a segment with Nikki Bella, because that's just how it is. But really, the Bella twins, I'll get on to that when I do my Nikki Bella video, but I just want to see Bayley get treated with some proper respect, because Bayley is my favorite female superstar. And I know I may be biased just because she is my favorite female superstar, but you gotta be honest, out of the four horsewomen, all four women that WWE like to push, Bayley is the one that's been treated with the least amount of respect. Sasha Banks has had at least 2 title matches at WrestleMania. Charlotte is always going to be in the title picture come WrestleMania time if she's not in some other segment. She won the Royal Rumble and ended up cashing in for the NXT Women's Championship before NXT got ruined to NXT 2.0. And then Becky Lynch, currently the Raw Women's Champion, she's going to be in the championship match. Look who Charlotte's going to be facing. Charlotte is going to be facing Ronda Rousey. If you honestly would say, I understand Ronda Rousey draws more viewers and draws more money, but if you gotta say this, if you want a better wrestling match, would you rather watch Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey, or would you rather watch Charlotte versus Bayley? Because to be honest, if you want a better wrestling match, you're gonna pick Charlotte versus Bayley all the time. But unfortunately, that won't be able to happen. Charlotte's gonna face Ronda Rousey. My prediction is Ronda Rousey's gonna win. Becky's going to face whoever she faces from the winner of the Elimination Chamber. Becky Lynch is probably going to win. And then I would have Bayley return on Raw or SmackDown and then build up the next story. And hopefully Bayley can stay healthy and Bayley gets a title match next year. Because Bayley, besides the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships, that's the only title match Bayley has had at WrestleMania. And Bayley's been on the WWE roster since 2017. That is honestly terrible. 2017, and Bayley has not had a legit title shot either for the Raw Women's Championship or the SmackDown Women's Championship at WrestleMania. And if you want to count the Thunderdome, don't. Because the Thunderdome was just during the era of that. And that WrestleMania ended up getting canceled. So even during Bayley's time as a SmackDown Women's Champion, she didn't get to compete at WrestleMania as a SmackDown Women's Championship because it got canceled. So I said this and I say this again. The main point of my video, main point of this, of what I'm talking about today, is just the fact that I want to see Bayley get treated with respect from the WWE. You treated Sasha Banks with respect. You treated Charlotte with respect. You treated Becky Lynch with respect. You treat Ronda Rousey with respect, and Ronda Rousey's nowhere near the level of a wrestler Bayley is. And yet, someone that loves the company, that would probably never leave the company, unless WWE up and released her, which by that point I'd be done with the WWE. But you got somebody that loves the WWE, and you can't find a way to put her in at least a title picture for the last couple of WrestleManias. I just honestly don't understand that. But that's the end of my video, guys. This is basically this point, is just saying WWE's next decision for Bayley when it comes to title picture at WrestleMania, it needs to be Bayley getting her own WrestleMania moment. Sasha Banks has had a WrestleMania moment. Charlotte Flair has had a WrestleMania moment. Becky Lynch has had a WrestleMania moment. The only one that hasn't had a true WrestleMania moment is Bayley.